Most people believe they defend their opinions because they are logical. In reality, they defend them because those opinions are attached to who they believe they are. Identity doesn't just describe you, it protects itself. Once the mind constructs an identity, it treats it like a structure that must remain stable. Anything that threatens it is processed not as information, but as danger. This is why arguments escalate so quickly. This is why facts bounce off. This is why changing your mind feels harder than learning something new. The brain is not asking, is this true? It's asking, is this safe for who I am? When a belief becomes part of identity, disagreement stops being intellectual and becomes personal. A challenge to the belief feels like a challenge to the self, and the brain responds the same way it would to a physical threat, with defense. You can feel this happening in real time. Notice what happens in your body when someone questions something you strongly identify with. Your values, your intelligence, your competence, your morality. Your chest tightens, your jaw clenches, your thoughts speed up. Logic narrows. The goal shifts from understanding to winning. That reaction is not weakness, it's biology. Neuroscience shows that identity threats activate the amygdala, the brain's alarm system. Once triggered, rational processing drops. Evidence becomes secondary. The priority becomes restoring psychological safety. This is why people double down when proven wrong. Admitting error feels like losing ground. Identity defense also explains why people cling to roles that hurt them. The responsible one, the strong one, the one who doesn't need help. These identities once served a purpose. They created order. They earned approval. They reduced chaos. But over time, they become burdens. Still, letting go feels risky. If you're not that person anymore, who are you? So the mind defends the familiar, even when it's painful. A relatable example is career identity. Someone builds their sense of self around being competent and knowledgeable in a specific field. Years later, they feel unfulfilled, but changing direction feels terrifying. Not because the new path is impossible, but because it threatens the story they've been telling themselves for years. If I leave this, what does that say about me? That question freezes people more effectively than fear of failure. Identity defense also shapes how we remember the past. Memories that support identity are replayed. Memories that contradict it fade. Over time, identity feels increasingly proven, even though the evidence has been selectively curated. This creates a closed loop. Identity shapes perception. Perception reinforces identity. Breaking that loop feels like instability, and the brain resists instability at all costs. Social reinforcement makes this even stronger. When identity is shared, political, cultural, professional, moral, it becomes protected by belonging. To question the identity risks not just internal discomfort, but social exclusion. So people defend beliefs they've never deeply examined, not because they're ignorant, but because belonging feels safer than truth. The unsettling part is this. Once identity takes control, you stop choosing beliefs consciously. Beliefs choose you. You don't ask whether something is accurate. You ask whether it fits. Understanding this isn't about rejecting identity. You need identity to function. Without it, decision-making collapses. But seeing identity as a construction, not a fixed truth, creates flexibility. It allows you to loosen your grip. When identity is no longer something you must defend, disagreement becomes information instead of attack. Growth becomes possible again. Curiosity returns. You don't disappear when an identity shifts. You expand. The mind will always try to protect what it has built, but awareness gives you leverage. The moment you notice yourself defending instead of examining, you've stepped outside the loop. And that's where change begins. In the next episode, we'll explore how identities can be intentionally reshaped and why doing so feels like losing yourself before you find something more honest in its place.